The following podcast is considered for a mature audience and should only be listened to by an adult. If you're not an adult, please go and get an adult so that you can watch them as they try to awkwardly explain all of the dumb shit that we're about to say. Listener discretion is advised.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 97, we're talking about the luxury resort of the future that maybe you might not want to. Guardians of the Galaxy are back to save the day once again in this week's movie review and much, much more. I am Mike Fish and I am joined as always by the main man in San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming coast to coast. It's the People's Podcast, the original Waffle Box podcast. You accept no substitutes because it is the best part of Wednesdays. Mike Fish, I'm having one hell of a week. I hope you're doing better. I seem to have lost hearing in my right ear after our last recording.
Why ever would that be?
I think it was part of that love that I picked up. I mean, I can still hear that. I also still have hearing in my left ear, or I did before that.
So is this coincidence, or was it the amount of hornage?
Somehow,
was we too horny last week?
We might have been a little too horny. No, apparently some water got in my ear and then left a couple bubbles. So like the doctor says there's going to be no permanent hearing damage, but like everything has just been closed for the last. It's been a week now, honestly. And yeah, I'm on medication for it, and they make me stick this gimmick up my nose where I don't know if it's working though. I've been on this medication 3 days now, and there seems to be no real change in anything.
Did you try just jabbing a Q stick or whatever they're called?
No, they heavily frown on that. In fact, that's how most hearing injuries are caught. I don't know how you would clean your ears without a Q-tip, FYI.
Q-tip, there we go, not Q-stick. Oh my god, a Q-stick is what you play pool with.
There you go. Yeah. But I bet some people have stuck a Q-stick in their ear. Anyways. Other than that, dude, I've been having a great week. As you can see, I'm at Oracle Arena today, or Oracle Park in downtown San Francisco, where the San Francisco Giants will be in their third game against the Washington Nationals. And well, I couldn't really tell you how the series is going, but the Giants, so far, it's still early, but not having a great year so far.
Wow, I think it's going around. The old Yankees aren't doing too hot this year either.
Yankees too, with the home run king who left us hanging at the prom.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know, but who? I mean, let's be fair. If you took Aaron Judge out of the situation or the equation last year, I'm pretty sure they would have lost a lot of more games as well. So I guess it's what's happening. Yeah, you get one good player and suddenly shits the bed, and the other good players all get injured. I don't know. I don't really follow baseball that much, but I'm hearing it's not a great situation over at Yankee Stadium.
Well, I hear he's doing his job. It's just everyone else that's fucking up. Like, he's still knocking them out of the park, but or at least he was last time I checked. It's been a week or two.
Doing the old
162 of these games, folks.
I can't get into baseball. I'm sorry. Like, even I was listening to the radio and they were saying that the Yankees were like 16 and 15. Like, they're only just above 500. And then you're like, there's still another 130 games left. I'm sure it'll be fine. Like, I can't get invested into it. Yeah, I'll just wait. Let me know once there's like a couple of games left and we're talking about playoffs. I might check in. But other than that, I just can't do it. I can't do it. There's too many games. Why is there so many games? There's no other sport. Well, hockey does what, 82? Basketball? 82 I think basketball's also 82 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Football 17.
I mean, this is a leisure activity, you know, like this is just we're enjoying a day in the park today. That's what baseball is. You just hang out and you sip a couple cold ones and you watch the boys knock one into the left outfield stands. Yeah.
Couple of cold ones, couple of hot dogs, and then you realize, oh, I'm in.
Oh, I've already spent
$300. Like, Jesus.
Speaking of money,
sucks.
I'm wagging my finger at you, Aerosmith. You just announced tickets for your farewell tour, your very first farewell tour. So I don't think this has been a routine. You motherfuckers are charging $400 a ticket plus fees for nosebleed seats. No,
Let me
thank
guess.
you, sir.
Ticketmaster?
Yes.
Shock. Fuck Ticketmaster. But yeah, don't worry. Just wait until the tour's been going on for like 5 years. But I'm pretty sure I went
possible.
I went to see Kiss
Nice.
on their farewell tour.
There's been like 7 of them. But yeah.
And that was like, no, I think technically they're still on the same tour that I went to see him in, but I think I went to see him like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still quote unquote retiring.
Yeah. No, I have friends that saw Kiss in Oakland in like 99 on their farewell tour. So it's Kiss, Terry Funk, and the Rolling Stones have always threatened to have that farewell and can never find it in them. Like even Michael Jordan finally went like, yeah, I gotta sit down now. I'm tired. But anyway, shame on you, Aerosmith. Shame on you, Ticketmaster. There are cheaper tickets, by the way, Mike Fish. Do you know how much 119? You know where $119 will sit you, plus fees?
In the kitchen.
Probably be better in the kitchen because at least food would be there. No, behind the fucking stage. See this bullshit right here? Behind that. It's not going to be at this park, but behind that. They're sitting you behind that. Okay.
So you can't see
maybe
anything.
You'll see some PAs and you'll see the guy bring out a guitar and maybe you'll see Steven Tyler like throw a new scarf on. But like behind the fucking stage. How dare you? How dare you, Aerosmith and Ticketmaster?
I mean, there's to a certain extent, there's some things where, you know, like, I couldn't see much, but at least I can say I was there and I got to experience the atmosphere and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, I want
to be able to at least have a chance to see them, even if that, you know, you're far up and you can see maybe ants. Like,
I was prepared.
I know
to just
those
do
ants are
nosebleed.
Aerosmith.
I was prepared to just do the nosebleed. I would still be able to see them. They would look like ants, but it's fine. Well, again, this is where you're talking about the experience, and you get to hear the music, and you get to be with the crowd behind the stage. Fuck you.
But they're not, as far as I'm aware, they're not doing like stadiums, which I thought
they're going to be at the Chase Arena where the Warriors
play.
play.
Because they're doing
San Francisco.
I think they're doing like MSG, Prudential Center.
Sure.
I want to say, what's the UBS, the one in Long Island? I can't remember what it is.
They're going to be at the SAP Arena or the HP, the Shark Tank. They're going to be where the San Jose Sharks play the next day. So it seems to be all indoor arenas, but still, like behind the stage. You can sit behind the stage for 100 and for what's in your fucking pockets.
You'd think Aerosmith would be able to pack out a football stadium, surely.
I'm sure they would.
Maybe they're missing. I don't know what they're doing.
Well, maybe we should check the Dallas, Texas dates.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't care either because I'm mad at them for charging me $400 for nosebleeds, the very last row. How fucking dare you guys? So, that's all I gotta say about that.
Well, that's good. We've got that off the chest. Lathan.
Oh, this motherfucker.
You still here? How are you? How was your weekend?
Feeling a little down, if I'll be honest, fellas. I went to a farmer's market over the weekend, and I've got to tell you, not a single looker among the bunch.
Yeah. No, okay. So I think I get what you're saying here. Like the farmers, it's not. The market isn't for the farmers. Like it's not like a singles night or something. The farmers produce something and then you pay money for it.
Oh, I get it now. So they're like prostitutes?
Not that kind of... Never mind. Anyway. Thanks, Leafin, for joining us. You're doing a great job. Anyway, shall we crack on with this week's show?
Let's crack on.
Whoopa! It's now time for this week's top stories.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
Now, we've all heard the saying, the phrase, whatever you want to say, that some people have more money than sense. Well, I believe we have found a next culprit.
Oh,
Are you familiar with the name Stephen Dekoff?
no, but he has that familiar type of name. Something about obviously Steven, but then something about Dekov. Like it could be also Dudikoff or anyway. No, I don't know the gentleman at all.
So, Stephen Dekoff is a 57-year-old man. He is the co-founder of private equity firm Black Diamond Capital Management.
Sounds fancy.
And he has recently made a purchase, which I'm assuming he's going to try to turn it into profit. That's how people make money, right?
True.
So he has purchased for $60 million.
Oh, I did hear about this.
2 Caribbean islands.
Not one, but two.
Ooh.
Two
You're
two
thinking,
two for the price of one.
Oof, you're thinking, oh, I want to own a Caribbean island. What is he planning on doing on these islands, you may ask? So he's going to be turning them into a 25-room luxury resort that's slated for a 2025 opening.
All right, that's optimistic. But
Yeah.
it is his own island, so I imagine he doesn't have to get many permits or anything.
Yeah. Now you're wondering, I'm sure, Waffle Box listener or viewer, why are we talking about a rich man who has purchased 2 Caribbean islands? And why do we
how
care?
much were those islands originally going for? Because I heard they came down on the price.
So they were originally listed at $125 million in 2021. And then the price went down to 110 million. But Stephen Dekoff got them for 60 million. Now, why? Why?
That's 30 million each.
Why would 2 Caribbean islands that were originally slated to be sold for $125 million for the pair, why was that asking price then slashed to 110 all the way down to 60? Wow.
Infested with cockroaches.
We're slowly getting there. These 2 islands used to be owned by a man by the name of, I don't know if it's Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein. Or Epstein.
Now, I'm not wishing any failure amongst anyone. I wish everyone well in any business endeavor that they do. However, could you imagine
Actually, I could.
taking, let's say you're going for a Caribbean luxury island resort getaway, you want to relax, where should we look at? Hey, put in Google Caribbean getaways, and then you find the one of the smaller of the 2 islands, dubbed quote pedophile island.
I mean, that's not going to be in the official listing, is it?
I like to where sometimes people are like, well, it's already famous, it's already trending. Let's try to piggyback off of that. PR, no PR's bad PR. Yeah. Pedophile island's a little
On the nose.
on many things. Luckily,
you'll land at the airport and then you'll take a small boat out to You Got Raped Peninsula.
You may be wondering why would Jeffrey Epstein's estate be looking to offload these islands? the fact that it's called Pedophile Island might be a good idea. But yeah, so the majority of this, a significant portion, it says in this article in the New York Post, I'm assuming most of it is he's going to go towards the $105 million sex trafficking case against the estate that was recently settled in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So yeah.
I mean, also,
Pedophile
even if
Island,
that
a nice
case
little
wasn't going
getaway.
on, that man's dead. He's not using the property anyways, so might as well sell him.
Yeah.
Like,
A little friendly tip for Mr. Deckhoff. Whatever you do, do not use a black light in that place. You won't sleep ever again.
Yeah, that's
the boy's not wrong. The boy's not wrong. I did hear about this story earlier today, and I didn't catch the guy's name, but yeah, I understand he's gonna turn them into resorts. So that means knocking down all the existing structures and then rebuilding. So, and then eventually, with enough branding and enough time and enough PR, like people are gonna forget about Pedophile Island. Like Mike Fish, I dare you right now to pull up a map on Google and just point it out. Like, I dare you to point out Rhode Island too, by the way, player, but that's only because you're from the UK. So I doubt you would find either of them, honestly.
no, but I probably feel safer about going to Rhode Island. I mean, obviously, the dangerous people are gone now from. Let's quit Epstein
I'm sure it would be
Island.
fine.
I don't think I want to keep using the P word on this show, but
it's definitely
no,
going to affect our monetization.
It's definitely just creepy. Because I remember going to like not to bring too much of a downer, but I remember one time I went in Paris. I went there recently after they had a terrorist attack, and we was at a cafe, and they still had the fucking bullet holes in the wall, and it's kind of like, I'm pretty sure I'm safe here, but I don't know. The vibe seems a bit odd. I don't.
No, I get you.
So yeah,
I remember being at a airport in Las Vegas the weekend the U.S. invaded. I think what was it, Kuwait, Afghanistan, when we started the newest war in the desert. All right, and I was like, oh, wall-to-wall footage, CNN, Fox News, all that shit. And I'm like, probably nothing's gonna happen, but boy, do I not feel safe about getting on this plane right now.
Yeah, I'm sure that they've got nothing against me, right? They know it's me, not me, right? But yeah,
I think it's gonna be like the circus of Caribbean islands. Like, I bet it's gonna be like rock bottom prices with 5-star accommodations because there's just so much of a stigma attached to it. But I bet if they also don't put, this is where Jeffrey Epstein raped a bunch of children, like, people are not going to know. The majority of folks aren't going to know.
Walking in when you're checking in, is that they've changed the bed sheets, right? These are fresh. Just want to check. Okay, we're good. Okay. Yeah, there you go. And I'm so look out for that in 2025. 3 short. See, the fact that I know that, like I say, they won't have to sign off any permits and stuff like that because he's the king of the island. But I don't know, a 25-room luxury resort in less than 3 years. Is there going to be some original buildings? I don't know.
Well, so I also understand that when Epstein bought the island, he unearthed like some old historical structures from the previous civilization or whatever was living there before him, whether it was last week or many generations prior to that. And he was just like, yeah, get rid of this old shit. I got some teenagers to rape here. Let's go. Don't isolate that drop.
Bring me some K-pop. Kids are into K-pop, right? None of this history bullshit. Anyway. So there you go. Check that out. Great St. James and Little St. James, which are the original names of the islands. I'm sure it'll be lovely. Anyway, let's move on. Next story.
Moving on.
It's a slightly less intense story.
Strong opening today.
Yeah.
For episode 97.
3 people broke into a shoe store in the central city of Huancayo in Peru. I hope I'm saying that correct. Huancayo in Peru, and made off with over 200 sneakers this past week.
Wow.
So the shop owner estimates that they have a value of more than $13,000, although the shop owner does believe, he has a hunch, that these criminals may have a hard time getting rid of this merchandise.
Because they're all bootlegs.
Well, they might be all bootleg, but let's just give this shopkeep the benefit of the doubt and say they're all top of the line stuff.
They average $65 a pair, so I'm going to guess they're bootlegs.
Wow, quick math.
Well, of course, life is a lot cheaper in Peru also.
Problem being, all 200 plus sneakers were the right foot half of the pair. So they have 200 plus individual right-footed sneakers and not a single left foot one to be found.
Please tell me there's an explanation for this.
Womp. Womp.
We keep the left shoes on the right side of the building, and we keep the right shoes on the left side of the building, and the two shall never cross.
So the story from the BBC says the lame attempt at a lucrative robbery was captured by security cameras. The footage shows the criminals breaking the padlock on the shop's shutter in the middle of the night and using a tricycle to take boxes of trainers from different brands. That's a pretty gangster getaway car, to be fair. Local police chief Edouard Diaz told Peruvian media, "We have gathered evidence at the scene. The unusual thing about the robbery is that the shoes from only the right foot have been stolen. With the footage and fingerprints, we will be able to locate these individuals." So it doesn't actually go into detail on how or why.
They're catering to an exclusive audience of right-legged amputees.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was going to say. That's yeah.
Maybe,
that's the best I got.
Just maybe they were acting like modern-day Robin Hoods, and now over 200 one-legged children will be rocking some sweet kicks.
That great minds.
Not just a hat rack.
Not just a hat rack. But I'm sure, yeah, because I'm just trying to think, because when I'm not very, I don't buy. I can't remember the last time I bought a new pair of shoes myself. But I seem to is sometimes you open the box. Is there normally one or two in there? And then you normally have to ask the person, "Excuse me,
Well, it should hopefully
I
always
like
be two
these
in there.
shoes. Can I get the shoes?" And they fuck off. And I'm sure they get them, but they just sit around for 15 minutes making you wait. I'm looking forward to trying on these shoes.
They're probably not
going to be
sitting
back
around.
soon.
Probably not sitting around. I worked at not an Old Navy. I worked at one of those bullshit clothing stores. And
Marshalls.
things are not even Marshalls. No, it was
Nordstrom Rack.
Abercrombie and Fitch. No, the other American Eagle Outfitter. I worked at American Eagle Outfitter for a miserable 8 days. 8 days. Right after
You lasted
9/11.
8 days.
I ended up quitting because the boss, it's a whole thing. Don't worry. The point is, the back room, wildly unorganized and just boxes everywhere. And as much as they would like to be organized, the product just ships in faster than it goes out the door. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys aren't just fucking off for 15 minutes. Like, they're probably looking for that fucking left shoe. And equally frustrated that they're not finding it because their 19-year-old boss will yell at them because they're not serving other people on the floor.
I hope one day I could be like Chad and be the store manager.
Problem is you're 23 when you say that about 19-year-old Chad. And you're like, oh, fucking Chad.
Hey, money's money. Don't feel bad about
but
yourself.
money is only worth so much.
Can't knock the hustle. Could be worse. You could be a housemaid at Pedophile Island.
Oh,
Okay.
I guess. Yeah. Not a fun job. Probably not a well-paying job either.
But what's up with this song? Anyway, never mind. I'm not gonna go. It's gonna be disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. So I'm wondering, what are they gonna do? I'm assuming then this shoe store has over 200 left-footed shoes.
Now just chilling.
Just going to waste.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to them?
Again, we never did get an explanation of why they had it that way. So
maybe it was to stop this very thing from happening. You think, oh, well, if we only keep, if someone's going to rob us, they're going to check the box and be like, oh, there's only one sneaker in the box. Never mind. But they was like, no, fuck it. In per pound.
I mean, I would imagine most of those left shoes are display shoes, but 200 display shoes, like, it's really weird that you would just randomly find the 200 right shoes for those shoes that are on the wall and not take the shoes on the wall also. I don't know. There's an explanation here I would love to get to the bottom of, but we don't have time.
Also, the tricycle. That's a bold, I mean, does it have like a car on the back? I need more information. Otherwise, that's a pretty big trike. Or maybe
they're built differently in Peru, man. They're built differently. Their hustle is stronger.
Maybe they just tied all the shoelaces together, and as they drove off, all the shoes just dangled. Like the tin cans on the Just Married when you're on the back of the car.
Sure. I mean, you just scuff up all those shoes, and that's a no-no. But I mean, not impossible. Not impossible. These probably aren't long-term thinkers if they're only running off with the right shoe. So
maybe. Oh, maybe this is going to be one of those
Pisces
wacky Netflix TV move straight to Netflix movies, and the punchline will be, when they go to the boss, they go, "Hey, did you get the right sneakers?" "Yeah, don't worry, boss. We got the right sneakers." And then he opens the box. "No, I didn't mean this." And then he's like, "Doing." Uh-oh.
"Boss, you told me to get the right shoes, so I got the right shoes." No, this is. I don't think it's going to get a movie, but I think it will get its own special documentary. But it'll be that stupid shit Netflix does, where it'll be 2 episodes at 45 minutes long. You're like, why didn't you just make one fucking 90-minute episode? What is this bullshit? Like,
unless there is some real heavy shit behind it, I don't think I want to watch this documentary.
No, it definitely won't be as entertaining as the Pepsi Jet documentary, and even then, that was disappointing. It's like, this kid was stupid.
I thought the first. How many episodes was that in the end?
It was 3 episodes, which again could have just been 1 2-hour documentary, but for whatever reason, they ended up bunching up in 3 eps.
Yeah, that documentary kind of had the vibe of like they started making the documentary before they found out how the story ended. And then they were like, oh, wait, this is how it ended? Oh, let's just stretch it out a bit then. Because it was an interesting story to start off with, but then it just didn't have the... Like, if he ended up getting a plane, that'd have been fun.
The story would have had a fine, successful wrap-up if he had just taken the $1 million. But then he pushed it, and then that's when everything just turned into stupid. This was the dumbest thing you've ever done, kid. Like,
well, who's the dumbest one, the kid or the guy that funded it, wrote the check?
Yeah, I guess the guy who wrote the check also has to hold some accountability, because he should have been like, all right, look, kid, this has been cute, but you've literally got $1 million in your hand here. You, 1, don't know how to fly a plane. 2, you don't know where to store your plane. And 3, you don't know where to buy fuel for your plane. These are all problems you still haven't worked out yet.
Don't worry, I got it. It's just like typing in black market into Google Maps. There must be one near here.
He was going to take it to air shows. He was going to tour that fucking thing. Maybe do an exhibition He was like, "Look at me taking off and then landing," or something stupid like that. But no, the kid's plan was to tour it around the country.
How is he going to fund the pilot lessons?
Yeah. That's where we turn into stupid.
Oh boy. Speaking of dumb people. Oh, by the way, it looks like the New York Knicks about to lose game 4. Oh,
Okay. Who are they playing?
against the Miami Heat.
Okay.
In Miami, I believe. Oh, and one of the players has just dove into the crowd. Fun. Anyway, talking about dumb people, let's talk about some more dumb people. But these people are actually achieving things in their life rather than just getting made to look stupid on a Netflix documentary. It's time for this week's Dumb World Record of the Week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
This week's Dumb World Record comes to us from France.
Oh, I'm Francais.
Bibliothèque. A team of French cyclists broke the world record for the largest GPS drawing when they created an image measuring 636 miles.
Okay, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Florent Arnaud, Maxime Brugier, Frank Delorme, Nicolas Minuri, and Jean Roule created this GPS image by riding for a total of 43 hours and 47 minutes over the course of 6 days. You may be wondering, what picture did they draw?
Penis.
Which scaled 636 miles. Unfortunately, it wasn't cock and balls, which that would be my go-to. You know, if I'm going to do this, right?
It would be a straight line and then just a little curve, just another straight line, and then maybe.
Oh, you do a GPS drawing of a flaccid penis?
Oh, straight line, stupid.
And anyway, doesn't matter. No, actually, they drew a image of a velociraptor. The dinosaur. Why did they do this? And the team said they chose a velociraptor for the image because it sounds like vélo, which is the French word for bicycle.
Sure, I guess that holds up.
There you go. So, congratulations. I'm not going to go through their names again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 French people. Congratulations for wasting 43 hours and 47 minutes of your life.
For a velociraptor.
There you go. Anyway, still to come on episode 97 of the Waffle Box, we'll be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And we'll be telling you how, just by listening or watching this podcast, you can win yourself $100. Oh. All that
I'm looking
more.
at the velociraptor right now, and I mean,
Looks shit.
It looks like a child's drawing.
It looks like someone.
But to be fair, this is the roads they had access to. But yeah,
it looks like someone was drawing the velociraptor on an Etch-a-Sketch whilst they're on a bounce house.
Yes. Yeah. That's correct.
Thank you. But anyway, yeah, you can win $100 by listening to this podcast. Want to know how?
Yeah,
Stick around. We'll be right back.
I could use $100.
You know, I grew up in a neighborhood like this.
Yeah?
Hey, minestrone soup.
It's Campbell's.
I grew up on that too. But you added something more vegetable.
No.
Pinch of oregano.
No.
Red beans,
No.
your own pasta.
No.
Campbell's did it themselves.
Bingo.
Campbell's keeps making their good soups better. Like Campbell's Minestrone, now the best tasting minestrone in America.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
Campbell's soup is good food.
And keeps getting better.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle Box, episode 97. Still to come, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 movie review. But it is now the middle of the show, so it's quite frankly, if you ask me, the perfect time to play the middle of the show quiz. This week's middle of the show quiz is the final stop as we try to test Kush Hayes' knowledge on the IMDb Top 250 movies. If it's the first time you're listening to this bit, what we do, I give Kush a little starting point of a movie and tell him where that ranks in the IMDb 250, and then the following one, he has to guess whether it's ranked higher or lower, and then so on and so forth. It's a crazy chain of events. So this week's starting point, are you ready, Kush? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready? He's ready. This week's starting point is The Green Mile.
Mm-hmm.
The Green Mile from 1999, which ranks, any guesses?
That's Tom Hanks. Geez, yep. I've never even seen it, and I remember seeing the trailer for it and going like, "Oh, here's another Academy Award nomination for Tom Hanks." By the way, I'd be wrong, but I was like, Stephen King, huh? So it's a soft sequel to Shawshank. Also kind of wrong, but still never seen it. But I'm gonna say like 245.
The Green Mile.
I don't know why it would be in 250. I don't know why it's in the 250.
27th. It is 27th most popular
Number 27?
movie. Yeah, this is one you should see. It's got a mouse in it and everything. It's very exciting.
I have to see it. Wow.
So yeah, 27 is your starting point. Let's crack on. So, movie number one is 1960s Psycho. Psycho. Is Psycho higher than 27 or lower than 27?
We keep getting into this situation where we hear about these classics that are genuine, emboldened classics, and they should all be in the top 10, despite there being 40 of them. But I'm going to say this is lower than The Green Mile. Psycho, lower than The Green Mile. Below, which is crazy.
Number 33. Psycho is 33.
Wow. Weird.
Movie number two. 1991's Terminator 2. Judgment Day. You going higher?
That should be higher, actually. That's a great movie. Still holds up.
29.
There's no way Green Mile is better than Terminator 2. I'm calling
that mouse is adorable. Spoiler alert. Movie number 3. American History X from 1998.
That movie goes really hard, but I bet it made a lot of people uncomfortable, so I'm going to say lower.
Lower than 29th from Terminator 2?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Damn, I'm on a roll.
American History X from 1998 ranked 38th.
By the way, if you've seen that movie more than twice, I'm suspicious of you.
If you have or haven't?
If you have. You
yeah.
definitely should see it once, but if you see it more than twice, I'm a little suspicious of you.
Basically, but if you haven't watched it at this point, I think it's weird to watch it now. Because one, you kind of know what to expect, but also at this point, after everything you see him in, you're like, what is wrong with Ed Norton? Why has he got?
You know, I think that enough time has passed where not everybody. Enough time has passed, and the subject material is that uncomfortable for folks that people avoid it. I bet they don't know what goes down in that movie. Like that first 2-3 minutes, shocker.
Some very amateur dental work is going on in there at some point.
Terrifying. Number 4.
1979's Alien.
Whoa, that should be higher.
Which, when I was doing this, I was like, wait, Alien came out in 1979?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Blew my goddamn mind. Yeah, so is that higher than 38 or lower than 38?
Higher. Higher than 38.
Going for higher. Ooh.
Get the fuck out.
Sigourney Weaver comes in at 51.
That's some bullshit. I've only seen that movie once because that's how scary that movie is.
And then the scene where it's like...
It's intense.
Shit.
It's intense.
Although the Spaceballs take on that was very funny.
That is very funny. You know, there is a high school in New Jersey, like 2 years before the pandemic, that did a full-on stage adaptation of Alien, and they fucking killed it, dude. The whole thing was on YouTube until like maybe 4 months ago. But I if you can find it, I would absolutely recommend you guys take the 90 minutes and watch it.
I think I could watch that.
It's not a
musical.
musical.
It's not musical.
But the first chest burster scene, so well done. You're like, oh shit. Again, these kids killed it. It was 5 years ago. But anyways, number 5.
2012's Django Unchained. Is that higher than 51 or lower than 51?
That should be lower than Alien, but I'm gonna just say higher. It's an entertaining film. Again, I've only seen that one once, but no, that movie holds up. Believe the hype.
God, that movie.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to Jamie Foxx.
Oh,
Peas and peas.
Yeah, get better, Jamie Foxx.
But you've gone with higher, and it's a good job. You got the first 3 correct because... Oh, it's 55. However,
okay.
You did get 3, so...
You win!
Congratulations, Miss A. Congratulations.
Yeah, look at me stir the pot.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. We'll be back next
pot.
week with another membership quiz. If you have any suggestions of what I can quiz this crazy cat about, feel free to send any show suggestions to enjoywafflebox@gmail.com.
I have a suggestion. I'll hit you up after the end of the show.
Boom. Right, before we move on to the trapdoor segment, let's talk about episode 100 of Waffle Box, which is coming up. So to celebrate 100 episodes of Waffle Box, we've decided to give away $100 of an Amazon gift card to one lucky viewer or listener. All you need to do to win, or for your chance to win, I should say, is over the next 3 weeks, including tonight, episode 98 and episode 99, we're going to be giving away 3 special keywords. And then between episode 99 and 100, you need to email us your name and the 3 keywords. And all correct emails with 3 keywords will go into a drawing. And then on episode 100, we will announce the lucky listener or viewer that's going to be taking away $100 in Amazon gift card. Boom, 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 boom. Happy stuff.
Now,
So,
I don't know if I should be asking this. Maybe this is something I should ask off air, but I'm opening this door anyways. When that lucky winner does email us with all 3 correct words, is it the first person that emails us in, or are you just going to pick a random winner from, because I imagine like 10, 15 people are going to answer this correctly.
if we do have multiple correct answers, then I will put all of their names on bits of paper,
Okay.
throw them into a container of some sort, and then I'll do a drawing live on camera. Episode 100.
Okay. Okay.
Keep it 100.
Guys, you heard this
Keep it
here
legit.
first. Like, this is exciting. Obviously, friends and family and acquaintances of the Waffle Box are not eligible for this. Otherwise, I'd send an email myself, because who doesn't need $100 gift card? However, guys,
Yeah, congratulations to Chaz Powers, who won. He wants me to send the winning code to his email, Kush_Hayes. Interesting.
that look.com.
But yes, so Lathan, if you could do the honors with this week's special word, which can help someone win $100.
This week's special word is pumpernickel.
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 By the way, if you don't know how to spell pumpernickel, I get it, but use Google and spell that shit correctly.
Oh, could you imagine? Oh, if the winning spells pumpernickel wrong, and I could be a dick and be like, "You're disqualified."
I think you should. I think if someone spells pumpernickel wrong, you should fucking disqualify them.
And if you are gonna Google it, I'll give you a nice little clue since I'm being generous. It's a type of bread.
Yeah, that's fair.
So look it up. Pumpernickel. This week's keyword. So check out next week's episode and the week after that for the last two, where you can win again $100 readers.
This is exciting. By the way, shout out to the fans because there's 97 episodes because of you. So thank you, and thank you, Mike Fish, because you do a lot of work putting this show together, dude. I appreciate it, and I will never stop saying that to you.
Look, I'm live on screen here with this T-shirt from Primark where the V-neck is it's becoming a U-neck. I really should look after myself more. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about dates. Let's talk about dating ideas. And this week's most anticipated trapdoor, because now it's an F. So this week's trapdoor segment. So yeah, trapdoor segment. If you haven't already done this before, it's trapdoor segment. I give Kush four different things, 4 suggestions, and he has to decide which of these items is going to be sent down the trapdoor forever and out of existence and out of our lives forever, quite frankly. And the last few weeks we have been doing date night ideas, and again, the asterisk on this has to be date 1, date 2, or date 3. So you just wait, still in the getting to know you period. Okay. So yeah, letter F. Get your minds out the gutters. And this week's 4 ideas are a food tour.
Okay.
Would you like to take him to a flea market? And Lathan, it's not what you think. Film festival.
Nice.
Or, depending on the season, some fruit picking. So, dating ideas, food tour, flea market, film festival, fruit picking. Kush,
Can I ask you to expand on this food tour?
Food tour. I mean, like you follow some
date much
hipster knobhead who takes you around, West Village. This pizza's very nice. Eat a slice here. Oh, we're gonna move on now to another pizza place, and we're gonna buy a slice, like a little food tour.
Okay. Yeah, I've never even heard of that being a thing. You just go.
What?
I'm
and sure there's
X number of other people
in
just
San
going
Francisco.
from restaurant to restaurant, like just trying appetizers because it's part of the package.
San Francisco food tours.
I don't date much anymore, Claire. Excuse
me. Still, look at that. It's TripAdvisor, the 10 best food tours in San Francisco.
Okay.
Sidewalkfoodtours.com, San Francisco. Come on. Anyway, you can go. You don't have to go. You can go by yourself. Meet some people. That'd be nice.
I actually went on a tour of the haunted Haight-Ashbury 2 weeks ago by myself.
Same kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess so. But also, I didn't know that was a thing until like maybe 3 weeks prior. Anyways,
this hoagie is haunted.
Actually, we went on some really weird specific spots. So we went into a park, but then we went to Jim Jones's house, who I didn't know lived in San Francisco at one point in time. We then went to a garage that Charlie Manson lived in. a block away from that. And then some kid got murdered at Janis Joplin's apartment, like in the 60s. We went to that.
And then they canceled the tour. Oh,
the tour
okay.
ended at a bar, but yeah.
I thought you meant during the tour. When we went to Janis Joplin's place, someone got murdered, so we had to go home.
No, I mean, it happened decades before that. But there was definitely like a demon in the tree. That's a whole other story for another.
Probably an owl.
Don't worry. Not an owl. No, it's definitely something with arms and legs and a head, and just kind of just chilling there. Just anyway, not important. We're talking about.
Wasn't around Halloween, was it?
No, it was last week.
Last week. Anyway, moving on. So, fruit picking does not sound like a thing that I would absolutely be into, but you know what? It's one of those things like we talked about where like, hey, just go on a random walk. This is where you get to know each other. Sure, you're doing menial labor or whatever, but you know, this is time that you're spending together. You ask each other stupid questions, very basic stuff. It's almost like a job interview, but it's better than just kind of just meeting up for drinks and hoping something comes out of it. This is actually like an activity. This is something where you're doing something. Having said that, though, when we get to film festival, it is the opposite of an activity because you're just sitting there. Maybe you're just there for one movie. Maybe you're there for the entire day and see like all 9 movies, but there's very little talking happening. However, can you tolerate your time with another person, whether you say anything or not, for that long? That's where the film festival is a good thing. Like, discover that, and hopefully you guys enjoy all the movies, or really even the one. Food tour, same thing as fruit picking. Sounds, again, you're walking, you're talking, you're eating. That's probably a good time. I didn't know that was a thing. And if I find a young lady to go on a date with, I might suggest we do that next time. I can't imagine it being super duper expensive, but in San Francisco, probably a little pricey just because, things here are expensive now. That means that we are dropping taking a date to a flea market. Honestly, flea market is not a date you take your girl to in the first 3 dates. And that's the stipulations of this contest. Them's the rules.
Flea market is something you do like when you've been married 2 years and you're living together and you're like, babe, we need a new coffee table, but I don't want to go to IKEA and assemble one, and I don't want to fucking spend money at the nose for it. So let's go to the flea market. Let's find one for $20, and that's our day. So flea market, vaya con Dios.
Although
it might be a pro wrestling show though, or a band, or whatever.
Well, wait till we get
flea market. Not a good first date.
I'm sure I've said it many times on this show, but I can fuck with IKEA. Like I love going to IKEA. I just find
I've never been.
What? You haven't been to IKEA? You haven't seen Green Mile? What have you done with your life? You get little free pens and everything, pencils. But
I heard there's some Swedish meatballs going around.
That's my jam, baby. That
sounds pretty great. That sounds pretty great just alone.
Speaking of which, I finally got my my Costco membership card. I finally signed up, got the card.
Congratulations.
I'm legit. And I was saying to my significant other, I was like, you know what? Now I can just drive to IKEA, drive to Costco and get lunch every day. And she laughed. And I was like, see this face? This is my serious face right now.
Don't call your wife a bitch.
No, I didn't. $150 for a hot dog and sup. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway. Yeah, but yeah, go to IKEA. Don't even if you don't buy anything.
I'm not even sure
there's an IKEA have lunch
in the Bay Area. I think there's some in the East Bay, so I'm definitely not going there. But like, I don't know where an IKEA is close to me.
I'm sure some extra money was exchanged, but luckily for me, my local IKEA just so happens, ironic, what are the chances of this happening? My local IKEA is located on IKEA Drive.
Oh.
That makes it a lot easier to find.
Wow.
What are the chances?
Wow.
What are the chances? Anyway.
And that's in New Jersey? Fascinating.
It is in Jersey. It's where I live. That's all the information you're going to get, you weird stalkers out there on the internet. All right.
That's fair. That's fair.
Let's move on. Let's talk about film. Let's talk about some movies. It's one of the hottest
movies. I love movies
to come out in the last week, I guess. I mean, Super Mario is pretty big. It's now time for this week's Kush's movie review.
Kush's movie review.
Star-Lord, Groot, Rocket, Drax, and others have returned. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, aka the best movie soundtracks to ever exist since the last Vietnam movie ever came out. Those
very interesting detail. Okay.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Kush, tell the fine folks about this movie.
We're talking about GOTG V3, and it is PG-13. It is a hefty 2 hours and 30 minutes, and you know how much I hate movies that drag on. I gotta say, maybe chop off 15 minutes, but I didn't feel the runtime. I was down for all 200 or for all 2 hours and 30 minutes of this film. And written and directed by James Gunn. This will be his final Marvel movie, possibly ever. He goes off to fund the DCEU after this, and they're going to be better off for that. But this stars Chris Pratt. This stars Chudwuki Iwiji, who plays the higher evolutionary. He's the villain of this thing, and well done. He's very intense. He's very creepy. His goals are actually modest, considering it's a Guardians film, considering it's a Marvel movie. This also stars Bradley Cooper, whose movie this really is, as Rocket Raccoon. Rocket's normally just a side character, but he's front and center of this, despite the plot, which we'll get into in a minute, because this is a long cast, brother. I usually try to keep this to 4, but it's a whole ensemble. So we have Pom Klementieff, we have Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel returning to the group. Karen Gillan is Nebula. Sean Gunn, the brother of James.
I walk alone. I walk miles inside this bit of danger. Sorry.
Zoe Saldana and Will Porter as some kid who's Adam Warlock. I'm not familiar with him very much, but whatever. We're going to keep this very spoiler free, but we still have to talk about this. So kids, don't freak the fuck out when we start mentioning plot details and what the film is, because I bring this up, Mike, because Variety, the day after this movie released an article saying Hilary Duff's part was replaced by actress so-and-so. And she was now not included in the film. And folks lost their fucking mind. Like, spoilers, this hasn't even been 24 hours. Like, you know what? When you announce that so-and-so actress or character is not in the film, not a fucking spoiler.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get that out of the way here. This movie is, one, I enjoyed this a lot. Again, 10, 15 minutes shorter would have been great, but I thought this was much better than Guardians 2, which also my biggest complaint was the time. Take 15 minutes out of that film, great movie. The best of this trilogy, I think, is still Guardians 1. I could watch that thing right now, dude, and still be in tears as if I saw it for the very first time. However, we're talking about Guardians 3 here. And if you saw Guardians 2, you remember that those gold people, they got a little upset that not only did the Guardians steal from them, but bested them in space combat. And so they created a thing called Adam Warlock, Will Poulter, who then immediately attacks the Guardians on their brand new home of nowhere, which, if you do remember anything about the Guardians universe, it's a severed head of a celestial being. And they created a society within it after Thanos had destroyed it, of course. Of course. Spoiler alert for Avengers Infinity game from 5 years ago. Anyways, Will Poulter fucks up Rocket Raccoon so much that the plot is, oh shit, Rocket's dying. We got to get to the place that created him, and we got to figure out how to fucking fix him, because there's a switch in his heart, a fail safe where someone tries to like perform surgery on him or fix him or make him better or heal him, his body will just shut down like that.
Jesus.
So the big plot of this is rescuing Rocket Raccoon from certain death. And again, Steve, Kush, you said this is Rocket Raccoon's movie. There's a lot of flashbacks. Again, 90 minutes of this is Rocket Raccoon on a slab having just fever dreams about his creation. And that's his time with the higher evolutionary, Chuck Woody Iwuji. He was in Peacemaker, if you're blanking on who I'm talking about, by the way. Things get intense with this. This is not a happy-go-lucky's Guardians film. Like there's a lot of consequences in this. There's some heavy shit happening. Based on how this movie was sold to us, the things you think would happen don't. I don't think that's a bad thing either, but there's a lot of character growth in this. There's a lot of we're moving on here. Again, if for some reason you didn't see the number 2 biggest movie in the world, Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, I forget which one, you might forget that Gamora got thrown off a cliff and died. So at the end of Endgame, they brought back a past Gamora who's 5 years younger, has had no contact with Peter Quill or the Guardians of the Galaxy, and is definitely not in love with this fool. And he can't get over that. And a lot of this is also her just going, hey, man, that chick you were in love with, that's not me. I haven't had any of those experiences. Like, I was brought here against my will, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to do nothing with you. And a lot of that is we're getting, Peter has to move on from that. However, we start the movie off where he's just a big old drunk. Anyways, very entertaining film. Very grounded for a Guardians film, because these things are usually lighthearted and fun. Whereas the first Guardians movie, despite how small that film was, we had to save the galaxy in that one. Guardians 2, we had to fight an entire planet. This one, we just got to rescue our friend and kill this motherfucker who is just torturing not only peoples and humanoids and other alien life forms and itty bitty little animals. We got to get rid of this guy. He's no bueno. No es bueno. Soundtrack, a lot of needle drops that might seem out of place, but it is what it is. All very good songs. I enjoyed myself. So, anyways, I don't know how much else I want to get into this film, but I enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, but I think that first Guardians is the superior of these 3. However, this is the stronger Marvel trilogy. I think it's as good as the Captain America trilogy. Thor
Although the
was never a
second
good
Guardians of the Galaxy
trilogy.
did have Kurt Russell and his luscious hair.
Sure, but that's not the movie. I hear what you're saying.
Also, since you're saying this fella is being cruel to animals,
Mm-hmm.
does,
That seems to be a big drawback for a lot of people. That makes a lot of people uncomfortable that these space animals, these CGI monstrosities, are being tortured. That seems to upset people more than just like John Duke or Abraxas getting shot in the face or set on fire and burned alive.
but for the
Cruelty is
purpose of this
cruelty.
movie, does Star-Lord change his name from Peter Quill to P-E-T-A Quill? Peter Quill.
I see you're setting up a joke here that I don't understand, but also
Peter.
no.
Oh, what does PETA stand for? Jesus. PETA. The People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
Oh, PETA. Gotcha.
There,
Gotcha.
Peter Quill.
Silly. No. But yeah, I mean, they could have done that.
Peter Quill.
At one point, the character Nebula, who was only tortured by her father Thanos and had almost all of her body replaced with cybernetic material, even says at one point when they finally like see rockets past, they're like, she's like, Thanos never even did crazy shit like this to me. So you're supposed to hate this dude on a huge level. Folks, movies are movies and real life is real life, and anything negative that happens to anything in real life, yes, you should be upset by. People, animals, little snails, daisies, anything that bad happens in real life, you should be upset about. But this is a movie, so if you're upset about cruelty to animals, you should be upset about cruelty to humans and humanoids, and I don't understand any of you. So yeah, everyone is hating the higher evolutionary because he experimented on a raccoon and a walrus and a little bunny rabbit and a ferret, but no one gives a shit that he experimented on children. So there it is. Anyways, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the last James Gunn film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 4 out of 5. Fantastic trilogy. Makes me actually want to see part 2 again.
Peter Quill.
We should put that on a shirt.
Maybe that would be a bad idea. Yeah, there we go. Guns Galaxy, Volume 3, 4 out of 5. Check it out.
Yeah, I have no. I have a strong feeling everyone is going to check this out.
Let's wrap this week's show up. As always, so often their cruelty to CGI animals has made everyone sad. Let's cheer everyone up with this week's feel-good story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel-good story from the was a little, maybe a couple of weeks ago, but
oh my god, are you having a stroke right now?
Yeah, happens.
Yes, and
at 2:59 p.m. local time on Wednesday, which I believe might have been a couple of Wednesdays ago now, a driver for Warren Consolidated Schools called the transportation base to let them know that she was feeling dizzy and needed to pull the bus over. Okay. As she started to slow the bus down in preparation to stop, she lost consciousness. Oh no, there's kids in this bus. And the bus was still moving. Then, dun 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 dun, 7th grader Dillon Reeves, who was sitting about 5 rows back, sprang into action.
Okay.
So Dillon, he threw his backpack down, ran to the front of the bus and grabbed the steering wheel and slowly started to apply the brakes before the bus could veer into oncoming traffic. Once the bus was stopped, Dillon yelled to his classmates, "Somebody call 911 now." I don't know if that's actually what it sounds like, but there you go. Warren Consolidated Schools Superintendent Robert Libanois said, "In my 35 plus years of education, this was an extraordinary act of courage and maturity on his part." This is the driver is currently in hospital undergoing tests and monitoring and must be screened for drugs, the superintendent said. But Dillon is the man of the hour. Stephen Reeves, Dillon's father, said his son has often ridden on his lap whilst he drives and has driven golf carts in the past.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure. Irita Reeves, his mother, said, Dillon, he's really been a great guy this year. Just this year.
It's got my vote.
Sure. Fucking prick last year. He's come a long way. He's surprised us with great grades and his performances at school, with friends, with peers, and to do something like this just fills my heart. It makes my heart skip a beat to even watch that video. Steve and Irita Reeves, who are a health and safety supervisor and community nurse, respectively, said Dillon wants to be a police officer or a professional hockey player. One or the other.
Why not?
Flip a coin.
Actually, no reason you can't do both, to be fair.
He could be a referee for the NHL. It's kind of like both.
Well, Shaq is a sheriff's deputy on the side. Or it was at one point in time.
There you go. Be like Shaq.
Be like Shaq.
Although I bet Shaquille O'Neal was terrible at ice hockey.
Probably had trouble fitting in the car for sure.
The school board will hold a commendation ceremony for Dillon soon, Liver Noise said. And at home, Steve Reeves said he would take Dillon for ice cream and a weekend at the family's camper. Oh, extra sprinkles for the hero.
Okay.
What they don't want you to know is that kid was later arrested for driving without a license. You're not above the law, Dillon.
Oh, Lathan.
Wouldn't that be a great part if the story ended like that? Dillon is currently out on bail awaiting trial.
To be fair, we live in a society where that's actually not impossible. Like, so some fucking deputy would have just had his panties in a bunch that day and just like, you're only 14. You shouldn't be behind the wheel of a school bus. I don't care if your driver had a heart attack.
There you go. Shout out to Dillon. Dillon Reeves.
Shout out to Dillon Reeves. Shout out to his father, Steve Reeves, who I'm sure is not the same dude, but shares the same name as Hercules.
Maybe it is. Maybe they're related.
Is an actor who played Hercules in like the 70s. I'm sure it was named after George Reeves.
Jacked.
Yeah.
What a way to end the show. Yes, that does bring a close to this week's Waffle Box. Don't forget, Pumpernickel. Pumpernickel is this week's special keyword. Kush, you do other sorts of podcasts. What if anyone was to just happen to go to bosnet.family over the next couple of days, what joys would they find?
Guys, we got all sorts of podcasts on the Bosnet.family. You can find archives of the Waffle Box, the original Waffle Box, but you accept no substitutes. We also do other shows, the Microdose, which I don't know if we'll have a new episode this week. Again, I got an ear thing. I heard half of this show tonight. So, but check out Kush and Kai. Check out the Kick-Ass Movie Podcast. Check out Sweet Science Cinema. Check out Little Sister Hayes Corner. Again, there's like 10 days worth of content with Kush Hayes' voice behind it that you can check out on the Bosnet.family.
Beautiful stuff. And of course, you can follow us on all the socials at Waffle Box Pod. All the links, enjoy wafflebox.com. I am Mike Fish at Only Mike Fish. He is Kush Hayes at Kush_Hayes. It's good night from me. It's good night from him. Good night, Lathan.
Good night, everyone. And remember, don't be a selfish prick and keep this show to yourself. Tell your friends and family about us.
Great advice. Great advice.
Could have been said differently, but sure. I agree with that. Don't be selfish.
Anyway.
Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.
That's my fucking line.
That's your line, dude.
That's all, folks.